On one side is something we call body area networks or bands. On the other side is something called wide area networks, wireless wide area networks, which is really, you can kind of think of the backhaul or the way, the wireless wire, so to speak, to get to the internet. And the wireless industry is working to make this kind of solution between you in and around your person and the internet a reality. So what kinds of solutions are we going to see? We're going to see many, many different kinds, and I'll show you some that are in the market today, and in some cases very, very close to being in the market. But we're going to see everything from medical devices to what we call smart band-aids, to smart pills, to wearable devices, all connected on your body using a wide variety of wireless technologies. Now, not all these wireless technologies are cellular technologies. In many cases, they're using local area or body area network wireless technologies and then connecting using the cellular technology to get to the internet. So in many of the solutions, and including many of the ones I will show you, what we're actually talking about is multiple wireless technologies being deployed in order to provide a consumer solution. But today in the marketplace, there's examples of all of the ones I'm illustrating here today. Kind of the granddaddy of the wireless healthcare space from our perspective is a company called CardioNet, which is actually a remote diagnostic company. So this is really in the traditional healthcare space. This is a service that a physician orders in order to make a diagnosis of a cardiac arrhythmia. And the CardioNet solution you see there on the left, which is effectively a set of wireless electrodes worn on the chest and a little handheld device that can be anywhere within 200 feet of the patient. So at night, the patient can put the handheld device in a charger and still be monitored as they move around the home. And during the day, they can put the remote device in their purse or a briefcase or on the car seat and be continually monitored while they're driving down the freeway at 70 miles an hour. That's as opposed to the old-fashioned model, which is illustrated on the right, which basically is usually driven by a cassette tape or in some cases some other form of digital recording. So it requires that the patient go to a hospital and be outfitted at the hospital and then have the information manually downloaded at the hospital. So this is the difference between real-time and after-the-fact monitoring, real-time intervention versus after-the-fact intervention. And as a result of this particular approach, CardioNet has actually now been clinically measured to be 300% more clinically effective than the old gold standard, which is almost unheard of in healthcare. You don't see things that are 300% more clinically effective. But this is the real advantage of CardioNet. It's a consumer model. Rather than going down to the basement of the hospital and having a hospital technician wire you up, CardioNet designed the entire program to be extremely consumer-friendly. The doctor orders the service, FedEx brings it to the patient. The patient can actually self-install it. There are provisions for those that can't, but the vast majority of them can. And when they're all done, FedEx picks it up and takes it back. This is all very, very much, while it's a traditional diagnostic device paid for by health insurance, it's using a consumer model around delivery and self-installing and self-management. We're going to see a lot more here because there's a lot of cost savings built into that kind of approach. To give you a sense as to how much we're seeing in the wireless space, this is a slide from Medtronic, which is the largest medical device company in the world. All of the items on the left are already implants that are wireless, that are commercial on the market. These are things that go inside your body that have radios in them. All of the ones on the right are in development, in various phases of development and clinical trials. It's not hard to imagine that we're getting closer and closer to essentially the bionic person, but we're really talking about a wirelessly connected person. So these are a wide variety of sensors. Mostly folks know about defibrillators and pacemakers, but there's a lot of other neurostimulators and other forms of kind of monitoring remote drug delivery systems that are represented on this particular chart. In a category that we label smart band-aids, and what I mean by this is a peel and stick biosensor with a power supply, meaning a battery, a processor, and one or more radios that's meant to be disposable, something you literally can peel and stick on your body somewhere to measure something. These use cases that are listed here, in other words, what's being measured and for what market markets they're being developed for are currently our list of the current smart Band-Aids in development by companies around the world today. So these ones are all ones we've seen. They're not commercial on the market, but they're in development. And what's interesting about this space is that while there are some very interesting small startup companies developing Band-Aids, there's also a lot of development by some of the very largest medical device companies in the world. So we're quite confident we're going to see a lot of disposable peel-and-stick biosensors that you can wear to measure all kinds of different things for all kinds of different reasons, whether it be for the fitness reason. And a great example here is you've all seen runners wearing a chest strap, and you understand it's a big rubber chest strap that goes around your chest with a box attached to it. The future version of that is a peel-and-stick Band-Aid. So you will watch these. The first Band-Aids will start appearing in the market towards the end of 2009. I would project that by 2011 and 2012 these will start to become fairly commonplace. So here's some of the examples of companies we can actually show you that are in the marketplace. CardioMEMS uses a little MEMS-based processor. It's a little device that's next to the dime. It's sewn into the heart for measuring pressure for patients with congestive heart failure. Then what it wirelessly is transmitted from a receiver. It transmits data to a receiver that's actually in the patient's pillow, and then that pillow actually then transmits the information to a data center, which is then interpreted by the CardioMEMS back-end system. This is not yet commercially available. It's in clinical trials, but there's about 5,000 patients that are on this system, so they're being wirelessly monitored as congestive heart failure patients, and when their pressure builds up, and then the physicians can intervene with various drug therapies to alleviate the fluid buildup around the heart, so they don't end up being admitted to the hospital.